Hello and welcome. It is 8:12 p.m. Eastern Time on the 15th day of March, 2021. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and amongst the like, each his own risk and their own reward. Gonna go over gold, but talk about mainly how much are people buying gold and silver. I can see volume in here, but I mean, as far as gold on the comics, it's nothing really changing too much. There was a decent amount of volume here at the low, and well, generally speaking, when markets go up, then you get higher volume. That's just how it goes. So, as far as gold and silver is concerned, when is it going to be easiest to sell? And that's when the people want to buy the most, and that would be when prices are higher. And how many businesses out there are like, okay, we need to increase sales. What should we do? Let's increase prices. That'll get people to buy. Maybe we'll put a coupon in the newspaper and say, blah, blah, 30% more, $5 on, not $5 off, but $5 on, meaning $5 more. No, of course not. But that's just the way it is with the markets. When the prices go up, people want to buy. Before we get into the numbers, let's take a quick look at the gold chart, which $1,200 at the end of 2018, start of 2019, and is done close to doubling up to this previous high of around $2,000. Had a little bit of retracement, making a decent amount of lower highs and lower lows. First low established here at 1876, then a lower low here at 1855. Another one at 1776, and as of now, we've had 1675. And yeah, this high is pretty much the same as this, but lower highs along the way in a little bit of a downtrend, but still well above this low and well above where we are from the breakout highs. On the weekly term time frame, it's been breaking down below the 18 average, newly breaking down after going down in here and failing to correct within this area. So maybe we do fill in some of the empty space in here. But on the monthly term time frame, this is now, we're at the 18 average of lows. This should at least flatten out, but it's an area where you could possibly see it could act as support. That's all it is just possibly. So when you go back to the weekly, if you start to see that this thing starts to break down below this established support, which is most last put in at 16 3/4, then we know at what 16 3/4 down in here would be just furthermore attempt to break down below, and then an attempt to reverse trend on the monthly would be the subject line amongst that particular time frame. And just I guess, and then overall within this, of course, just higher highs, higher lows. Very, very nice. So I made a silver buy and gold buy as well too. Little over under 24 hours ago at the end of the 14th day. I also made a purchase on the 14th day of February as well. I've been doing my buys mainly from silvergoldbull.ca. That's where I personally buy. This is not an advertisement, but that's just where I buy from. And when you do orders, they give you order numbers, which really tells me how often they do business or how much more than they have in the past, since I've been ordering from them since 2014. And my last order that I did just today pretty much was 15,968 order numbers higher than it was 28 days, which is how many orders they've had in a month. Not all orders are correct. Some are illegitimate, as in canceled, or for whatever reason can't be processed. I got one in my history myself. 2019, and this is mostly early months. In a 3.5 month period, there was 36,000 differences between orders. So in over 3.5 amount of time frame, it was just a bit more than double. In 2018, 1 month plus a week, a little longer than the time frame now, yet 4,400 difference to 16,000. That's about 3.6 times more orders, and a little longer time, so like even 4.5 times more busier in the last month than they were in the 2018, and even the same thing, although a little more busier in 2017. And then 16 months in between orders from 2014 to 2015, there was a difference of 52,300. And looking at the numbers even more further, from May 30th, 2014, that's when I made my first ever buy on silvergoldbull.ca, to November 2017, or November 27 rather, 2019. There was 323,000 orders almost. And this is a span of over 5 years. And within that average, they average go up 161 per day. And then from that same day, November 27th to October 4th, and that was that one only day I had with an illegitimate order. And that was a situation of credit card. That's the only time I've ever bought. Actually, I can't say that. I did that in the early 2014 days as well. But recently, it's the only time I bought with a credit card. And it just would not work. And it was a decent sized buy, and it was just it should have worked, and it did the next day when getting a hold of them. Again, and many reasons why I'm not a big fan, of course, of the credit and banking system. But interestingly, though, they on October the 5th, 2020, they almost got a new computer system or something, because the data order numbers are completely different. But I can start from that point on, from October 5th, and from that point to March 14th of last year, really before the event, if you will, 401 orders per day. And that number was bigger back in 2019, 2020. Which is really interesting. Now, October 5th from March 14th. Actually, no, the event started in 2020, of course. But in the middle of the event till like now or so. But what I also realized when I look at it from this perspective, because I also made an order on July the 7th of 2020. From this period here, it was the higher number, 760 orders per day. July to October. Let's go to the daily term time frame. July 7th is right in here, just before this up run. So when markets go up, so basically, it would have been a no-brainer that from like July 17th to August 6th, everyone that sells gold would have been selling more gold than normal. Because people are buying more gold because, hey, business idea. Let's charge 5%, 10% more. We need to sell more. Okay, it happened. You sold more. If you need to sell more gold again, we have to raise the prices. If only that would work in the business world, then it'd be so amazing for profit. Because not only could you get more business, but you get better returns on your sale numbers. But yeah, you get the idea. That's just how, of course, it works when it goes like this. And the numbers that I'm showing for how much people are buying per day, those are nothing compared to where it's going to be going in the future. The amount of 2x, 4x, 10x, 20x, I don't know, maybe even 20x as far as how many more people I think will be buying the gold and the silver than they are on any random day today and yesterday and last week, last month, and so on. It's really just it's not a matter of if in my book, it's a matter of when. And just the little subtleties of things like how big of the events last, how long it is, how many different corrections along the way, and the particulars amongst them. What type of fundamental news will come along the way within it? Because there's going to be some that will happen, of course. And as far as using things like Bitcoin, silver, gold, as that is money in the real world, as it will be getting easier to do. And one of the easiest things for that is, well, why are people getting in to that of gold and silver and cryptos? It's because they're getting out of the dollar. More and more people are finding out the hidden secrets of quote unquote money, which is actually a video series that you could actually, people can watch if some are interested in. But in doing so, they find out how corrupt, how much of a Ponzi scheme if they want to use that, and how much they maybe loathe such of a fiat debt-based monetary model. And then as the hype goes on, it gets in the news more. The mainstream media will give the best reasons they possibly can for why gold is up and all this type of deal. And then next thing you know, more and more people buy. And then that's just the main reason, of course, why prices get driven up. And of course, when you have those situations, it would become, of course, I say it of course twice, but easier to sell what you're looking to do so. This thing went straight up pretty fast and started 2000s from like 2001 or something to 2011. About 10 years. And in here, straight up move. From like 1976 for like 4 years. This was going from like about 100 to 850, an 8.5 times move, just straight up. If you did any kind of 8.5 times move here from 1200, that'd be about 10 grand. And that's, of course, if it's 8.5. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. And I'm going to be on the camp for I think it being that of more. As gold and silver to me are precious metals, real physical assets that you literally have blood, sweat, and tears that can be used or that are in place when mining the physical metal. And yet more and more people get familiar with terms like the fiat currency, the fact that it's not yours when it's in the bank and it's accounts receivable. What would a modern day bank holiday look like? Something everybody should know, or at least should have thought of. Unless, of course, fiat currency is nothing you are caring about. But I live in a world where almost everybody, if not everybody, needs and does, at least pretend. When I say pretend, I think you know what I mean, to care about. Meaning that, a lot of people just don't get it. Of course, more do, which is the whole point. But when that's the case, and it's something like fiat currency, money is something you are working with, something that you live with on a major level. It's always good to know these fine details. But if you are only going to be listening to and watching and reading what is produced from mainstream media outlets, you're going to be limited pretty much literally with misinformation to a lot of the stuff that I feel is very, very important. But when you go down the rabbit hole, do your searches on the internet, and then just try to understand, okay, now try to make the best sense of it, of what you get, what you watch, see, read, all that type of stuff. The best that you possibly can. More people, of course, are going to be doing that, and that's going to be doing the rush in for it. So now you got people getting into other things. What's interesting is those that run businesses and sell stuff are also people too. And some of those people that have control of what they sell their products and services for are going to be disliking fiat currency. So are they going to accept anything or something else? Something else, basically. Therefore, Bitcoin, gold, silver, you just happen to may notice that in a lot of your everyday purchases that you end up going through, that those items will all be more easily available. And as the demand for fiat currency goes down, in combination of the true inflation of the monetary money, as they call it, skyrockets, well then prices go up, but really a lot of that is the value of the world's fiat currencies just going down. Now, one thing I've been watching today was baseball, hockey cards, and just seeing some of the prices out there. A lot of them are having like 2, 3, 4, 5 X's over the last few years. And another situation of getting out of fiat currency into something that you could tangibly hold. And that's going to be an interesting thing now, like real physical tangible cards against NFS, I think, not NFTs. NFT, non-tangible tokens. NTFs, non-tangible tokens? Or non-fungible tokens, NTF, yeah. That's like the new big thing going on right now, which is like baseball cards and so many other different things. That's not physically real, but sort of there on your cell phone and different other devices and such. But I'm not going to get much into that. This, again, is about gold, silver, and again, the fact that it was 161 orders a day for several years in the middle part, or the end of the last decade. And we are seeing about 4 times higher volume now than we were through what the normal was. And I don't think 4 is that big of a number, meaning what we see now is going to be 4, 5, 6 times higher, or 20 times higher from the other number. Whether that'll be true or not, we'll see in time, but I think it will. Take care. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.